Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank the 25 NGOs, co-sponsors, for the invitation to participate in this 8th Geneva Summit, and above all, for the opportunity to present this year's 2016 Women's Rights Award. It is a great honor for me to join you. As a former president of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, I will, in my address, speak, of course, from a European perspective. This does, however, not mean that the principles I am talking about should not apply to the globalized world. For me, human rights, democracy, and the rule of law know no border and never should. Ladies and gentlemen, 2016 should be a year of responsibility and solidarity. Looking back at 2015, most observers agree that it was marked by fundamental challenges to the values of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law, as well as to the international system designed to protect them. Even though these challenges are not essentially new, their intensity and convergence have become a growing threat to the ideal of an open and free society. This threat takes four major shapes, which I would like to develop during my address. First, disruption of the balance between freedom and security as a result of anti-terrorist measures. Second, rejection of solidarity and living together in the context of the refugee drama. Third, dismantling of the international order and international trust. And finally, the distortion of democracy by authoritarian populism, and we just had that panel who discussed that subject. So first, disruption of the balance between security and freedom. The hideous terrorist attacks that targeted and continue to target innocent lives represent a great danger. All forms of extremism leading to violence need to be strongly condemned, refuted, and fought against. But the fight against terror should not become a pretext for giving up on our rights and freedoms. In 2016, we should be particularly watchful and aware of the dangers of disproportionate and uncontrolled intervention of security bodies into our lives. It is easy to succumb to the entrepreneurs of fear who would not hesitate to strip citizens of their rights in exchange for promises for safety. But once we are on this path, it could be much more difficult to inverse such a liberticidal tendency. The cure can be more dangerous than the disease itself. And as Secretary General of the Council of Europe, Torbjörn Jagland, rightly pointed out, and I quote, "In 2016, terrorists will not destroy our democracies. Only we can do that." End of quote. Second, rejection of solidarity in the context of the refugee drama. The migration drama that brought hundreds of thousands of refugees fleeing violence and misery to Europe was first met with indifference, later with rejection, and we see it every day now. Many advocate for a fortress mentality, refusing to accept and to help those who suffer just because they are seen as being foreigners, as being others, and it was referred to it before. Xenophobia and intolerance are on the rise, undermining solidarity, which is a fundamental value and a pillar of our societies. The Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe is acutely aware of these dangers, and we continuously promote the No-Hate Parliamentary Alliance in order to oppose intolerance and hatred. I want this campaign to go beyond the European continent and beyond its parliamentary dimension, and unite all genuine democratic forces, including civil society, sports, and religious communities. If we join our forces, we can make 2016 the year of hope and solidarity. I am proud to have been appointed ambassador of the Council of Europe to promote the No Hate campaign, and I ask you to support it. That's why I'm wearing this button of No Hate. And I was very pleased that yesterday I already found some supporters. And please support this campaign. You can find it on Twitter, you can find it on internet. Only if we say no to hate, no to intolerance, we can really say no to populism and stand up for our values. Third, dismantling of international order and international trust. The major challenges we have to face can only be tackled looking across national borders and working together. For this, we rely on a hard-earned international system built on multilateral and multi-level diplomacy and trust. At the same time, this trust appears to be eroding. Far beyond the regional context, the illegal annexation of Crimea by the Russian Federation and the conflict in eastern Ukraine undermine the international order founded on the post-war dream of our predecessors. The so-called frozen conflicts across Europe and across the world continue to entertain animosity between peoples and between leaders, leaving too many people in so-called human rights black holes. I hope that in 2016 we will be able to find courage and take our responsibility to move towards sustainable solutions, restoring trust and safeguarding the international order. My last point is distortion of democracy by authoritarian populism. Another menace gangrenes many states. It is the menace of authoritarian populism. In 2016, more than ever, we should remember the essential difference between genuine democracy and populist role. Too often in the media, in the common knowledge, or even in political debate, there is a tendency to confuse the rule of the majority with democracy. This is a dangerous mistake. Genuine democracy is not a dictatorship of the majority. Democracy is a system that does not exist without the respect of the rule of law and the rights of minorities, be they political, ethnic, religious, or sexual. Decisions that disrespect human rights and the rule of law are undemocratic, even if they gain popular support. Ladies and gentlemen, Europe without freedom, solidarity, trust, and democracy is a Europe without values. Betraying and losing our values is betraying and losing ourselves. The Council of Europe is the watchdog of our common values, and it will continue to stand firm, reminding citizens, including political leaders, and there I would like to add especially political leaders, about their historic responsibility, reminding us that we should not take for granted the values that generations of committed people fought so hard to create, promote, and preserve. And I would also like to put your attention on the Council of Europe Václav Havel Human Rights Prize, where you can send in nominees until April of this year, and you find it on the website of the Council of Europe. The European countries should be, in fact, a role model without patronizing, and there I would like to quote Joan Hoy, who said, to lead by example, and we are far from doing that for the moment. But we have to be a role model for other countries of the world, and we must take up our responsibility now. Ladies and gentlemen, the two laureates of this year's Women's Rights Award are more than a role model for all of us. They help through their courage, their conviction, and their determination to protect the rights of women. Human rights have no gender, but women are particularly vulnerable in the face of barbaric fanatics. I am proud and honored to introduce the two laureates. Vayan Dakhil is a member of the Parliament of Iraq and the laureate of the Anna Politkovskaya Award. She launched a campaign in order to help Yazidi people who suffer from continuous attacks by ISIS and face extermination because of their belonging to a minority religion. But I think we'll let her speak by a video, so please watch the screen.
يعيش اليزيديون الآن في جبل سنجار. سيد الرئيس، نذبح تحت يافطة لا إله إلا الله. سيد الرئيس، لحد الآن 500 شاب ورجل يزيدي ذبحوا.
السيدة النائبة، التزمي بالبيان الذي وافقت عليه.
سيد الرئيس، نساؤنا تسبى، نساؤنا تسبى وتباع في سوق الرق. رجاء إخوان، رجاء إخوان.
سيدة النائبة،
الآن هناك حملة إبادة جماعية على المكون اليزيدي.
سيدة النائبة.
نعم سيد الرئيس، أنا ملتزمة. رجاء السيد الرئيس، أهلي يذبحون، أهلي يذبحون كما ذبح كل العراقيين. ذبح الشيعة والسنة والمسيحيين والتركمان والشبك، واليوم يذبح اليزيديين. أخوان، نحن نريد بعيدا عن كل الخلافات السياسية، نريد تضامنا إنسانيا. أنا أتكلم هنا باسم الإنسانية. انقذونا، انقذونا. 48 ساعة 30,000 عائلة محصورة في جبل سنجار بدون ماء، بدون أكل، يموتون. 70 طفل لحد الآن ماتوا من العطش والاختناق. 50 شيخ مات من الوضع المتردي. نساؤنا تسبى كجاريات وتباع في سوق الرق. سيد الرئيس، نطالب البرلمان العراقي بالتدخل الفوري لإنقاذ هذه المذبحة. 72 حملة إبادة جماعية على اليزيديين، والآن تكرر في قرن 21. نذبح، نميت، يمات دينهم كامل على وجه الأرض. أخوان، أنا أناشدكم باسم الإنسانية، باسم الإنسانية أن تنقذونا. سيد الرئيس، أريد.
شكرا جزيلا، شكرا جناب السيد عباس البياتي. شكرا.
We have to thank Vayan Dakhil for her plea, for her courage. And you saw how she had to fight to speak out in her parliament. But that plea made the tour of the world and was taken notice. And it was instrumental in President Obama's decision to order airdrops of urgent supplies and airstrikes against ISIS. Dear Vayan Dakhil, you managed to be heard by the international community when you said that women in Iraq were killed or sold as slaves. Due to your tireless work to rebuild the shattered lives of traumatized ISIS escapees, today you are a priority target for ISIS. And yet you don't give up. So this is a lesson for us all. We have not to give up in order to help you. So congratulations to you and thank you so much. The other, and I think we should applaud her. The other laureate is sitting next to Wien is Professor Dr. Jan Ilan Kizelen. He is a German psychologist who operates a unique clinic in Iraq's Kurdish region. He has gone at least 12 times to Iraq, where he examined 1,400 girls and women, all former captives of ISIS, Yazidis and others, to evaluate their requirement for medical and psychological diseases due to captivity, abuse, and other causes. He was able to transfer 1,100 of the most severe cases to Baden-Württemberg in southwest Germany for a period of intensive treatment. And he managed to convince the Land of Baden-Württemberg to finance this operation. And that is really fantastic. For Dr. Kizelen, a Turkish-born Yazidi who emigrated to Germany at the age of 6, the work is also personal. As he said, ISIS do not see Yazidis like them, like him, like all human beings, but they don't see Yazidis as human. And that is really unacceptable. So we would really like also to pay tribute to Jan Kilizen for his tremendous work. He's a specialist in transcultural psychiatry, so he is really the man, and I'm really glad he has been chosen as a laureate as well. Dear laureates, this award is not only a very small recognition for the tremendous work you are doing, but should also be and must be a reminder for all of us that we have to be your spokesperson in order to help to stop this ongoing violation of the most fundamental human rights of the most vulnerable population. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to invite the co-sponsors of the Geneva Summit to join me for the award presentation. So please, if I can ask you to join me. The award, which I will have the honor to give to the laureates in a moment, has the following inscription. 2016 Geneva Summit International Women's Rights Award presented to Vienne Derhil for giving a voice to the voiceless and defending the basic human rights of Yazidi women, and to Jan Kizelen for your inspiring work to help women victims recover their health, strength, and human spirit. Dear laureates, may I now invite you to join me on the podium in order to allow me to hand you over this award.
Great. Thank you. Go up. Little bit go up. Yes. Go up. Go up. Go up. Thank you.
And now,
Okay, photo? Yep. Okay. Three of you? Okay. Great. Can you go back a little bit? Okay. We have the partners. This one here. Yeah. So I won't be able to see. Yeah. Behind. Okay, great. Go out a little bit. No, go back. Professor, go in a little bit. Just adjust. Okay, let's do it. Perfect.